Upon entering the Hall of the Saints in the Borgia apartments, a touchscreen console, like this one programmed for an exhibit at the Querini Foundation in Venice, would provide visitors access to a 3D virtual model, shown here in our first prototype. Through this model, Pinturicchio's world of secrets, symbolism, and Renaissance art are made accessible with an immediacy and an engagement through the creative use of emerging media technologies. Astrology, mythology, the lives of the saints, and the history of Pope Alexander VI and his court are among the many subjects to be illustrated through audio commentaries, mini-documentaries, and guided explanations to the painting's iconography. Standing in the room, the visitor touches the screen over any element that provokes their curiosity, and a link will open to various media content. Within our prototype, we have featured a study of Renaissance perspective construction. This fascinating discipline, first theorized by Leon Battista Alberti and used to great effect by both Raphael and Michelangelo, finds in Pinturicchio's work a unique phase in its development. In this abridged version of our study, the vanishing point, O0, has been established. The vanishing line, I alpha, passes through it and is the horizon line of the ground plane alpha, upon which the arch and all of the figures portrayed are standing. This same horizontal ground plane intersects the vertical plane of the painting's surface in T alpha. This is Alberti's window, or picture plane, through which we view the space portrayed beyond the painting's surface. With these spatial elements established, we may now draw out the essential structure of Pinturicchio's triumphal arch. Every line in the painting that would be perpendicular to the picture plane in real space here converges in O0, creating the perspective illusion. We project lines outwards from this same O0 in order to find the arch's measurements upon the ground line T alpha, giving us the measurements of the arch's height and width that it would have if it were in real space. In order to reconstitute the triumphal arch in its entirety, the various architectural elements that compose the facade are traced. A series of rays are then projected from our vanishing point, O0, passing through each level of the arch's horizontal construction, and onto the vertical picture plane at T alpha. Here, each ray is folded over and onto Alberti's window, where the arch acquires its real measurements. This reconstituted arch stands upon the ground line found at the base of the lunette which contains the painting. This border measures 8.49 meters. We may thus extrapolate the arch's width as measuring 8.90 meters and its height as 8.95 meters. The elaboration of the arch's plan and elevation allows us to model it in 3D, applying textures which render it similar to that painted by Pinturicchio, but now visible in a virtual three-dimensional environment. This monumental arch, created to celebrate the new reign of Alexander VI Borgia, clearly takes its inspiration from the Arch of Constantine, found in the ancient city near the Colosseum. The largest of Rome's surviving arches measures 21 meters in height and 25.70 meters wide. The principal difference between it and our Borgian arch is the Constantinian arch's lower height in proportion to its width. The almost square aspect of Pinturicchio's arch can be attributed to the need to display the celebratory epigraph of the Pope at its center, Cultori Pacis, inserted in the attic's central panel, and above it, the bull, the symbol of the House of Borgia. The minor dimensions of our arch recall the ephemeral architecture commonly produced during the Renaissance era for celebrations. Just such a triumphal arch is reported to have been built to celebrate Alexander VI's coronation in the summer of 1492, not long before Pinturicchio began his work in the Pope's apartments. The reconstituted arch offers us the possibility to hypothesize the ground plane upon which it stands. The grid provided by a design program recalls for us the chessboard plane which played a fundamental role in Renaissance perspective construction. This would allow us to undertake an additional study, measuring the space portrayed within the painting in order to calculate the distribution of the figures portrayed within it. The perspective study we have presented should be considered just one of the innumerable themes to be made available for exploration to visitors of the Borgia apartments through our interactive media installation. Furthermore, Our digital model will offer visitors with the unique opportunity of exploring the artwork up to its most minute detail. This fresco by Malozzo da Forlì from the Vatican Pinacoteca provides us with a stunning example of this potential feature.